Hi, hello everybody. Rock on the ledge here, and I just want to make another video. Um, I'm going through Dark Night of the Soul. Um, I just made a couple other videos, um, because I wanted someone to talk to. Um, but this one, is more like a journal, I guess. I don't know what I'm gonna say. The other two I put on my other channel called Masterless Master. This one I think I'll put on Ebach Productions because it concerns my stories, I guess. Um, yeah, no, I just started getting emotional a couple of days ago. Um, I typed out a story that I had written. It's untitled, a video game story. The movie is actually untitled. We need to come up with a title, but I made a video on it on my philosophy on names, and I just don't have a title for it yet. But yeah, no, I put it out there when I wrote it. I was just so happy with it, and it's hard to keep track of when I was writing it because I was on the streets and I was exhausted. And but the rewrite was just so much fun, and I did a rewrite, typed it out there, and I put it out there, and yeah, no, I don't know. I always thought hope was a virtue for slaves. Um, yeah, I mean, I really hope to find somebody to make this story with. I do. I think it's gonna be fun, and then I'm gonna type up another story. Hopefully, starting tomorrow. I already made a video on it. I haven't put it out there yet. The movie's called The Surrounding Womb. I have a title for this one, and it's like a Matrix parody. It's another fun story, lighthearted. The first one, the video game movie, is it's fun, lighthearted, but it could be like serious at times, right? Um, there's this one movie my wife and I watched called The Iron Monkey. I highly, it's a Chinese movie. It's a beautiful movie. Um, my daughter was probably conceived on that movie, and it's unlike like a lot of like I've enjoyed like many Hollywood American movies. There's been a lot of great ones. Uh, but like a lot of American movies tend to be like comedy or drama or thriller or this. But this Iron Monkey was different. It had this whole different feel because it was all in one, and it was just awesome. I thought, instead of just being a comedy, it was, it had so much other stuff to it. Um, anyways, that's kind of how this video game movie is. I think it's I think it's funny and serious and all that other stuff. Um, the surrounding room is just silly all around. um, but yeah, no, I don't know. I've just been lonely my whole life. We live in a very lonely world. Work, work, work. Busyness is good, right? Whoever laughs at that joke is cursed. Um, because I'm innocent. There's too many busy people around. And I don't know. I'm being stupid because I like my life. There's so much I want to do. Um, I want to get back to the Divine Pymander at some point. I'll do it all by myself if I have to. Uh, and that would be great. It would be fun to share it with somebody, though. There's this disease within the human soul, right? Like you're reading the newspaper or you're reading a book or you're watching something and you just have this amazing experience where you learn something or you're edified or you're entertained and you want to share it with somebody. And you fail to really appreciate the sacredness of the now and the experience. um, so yeah, there's a lot. Like if I can't get these stories made, whatever. Like when I wrote this untitled video game movie. Um, at the end of it, I typed in untitled video game movie written by Rock on a Ledge, and then I typed in copywritten 2024. Right? it's actually not copywritten. Anybody can steal it. Right? But that's the world we live in. It's just like we live in a world where people smile in your face and cheat the fuck out of you. They seriously do. Um, um, yeah, I'm just being stupid. Whether I find anybody or not, um, I'm gonna be fine because there's a lot I want to do in life um, that that goes beyond these stories. Like I like these stories, I do, and I had fun writing them, and I think I would have a lot of fun making them with other people. But I don't know. Hope is a virtue for slaves. Um, there's an Egyptian book called the Book of the Dead, and it's a misnomer. Don't believe it. Anybody who's there's so much just smart people in our world. Oh my god. So many stupid smart people in our fucking world. Oh my god. Because that's a misnomer. There's no such thing as the Book of the Dead, okay? There are several books of the dead written throughout the different dynasties of Egypt. And the one that resonates the most with me is the first Book of the Dead. The rest of them just don't resonate with me. I think they lost the magic that the early dynasties had, and not all of them. Some of them understood, but in the early in the early Book of the Dead, the one written in the early dynasties, it talked about this one god who had a motionless heart, and that really resonated with me. You know, to have a motionless heart. Um, it sounds kind of cold. It does, but it's really not cold at all. In the Book of Everything, Enoch talks about how revolution is all about sight, right? And you think about the eye; it's a sphere, right? So revolution, right? So if you see properly, then everything will be fine. And that's really same concept, right? A lot of these esoteric books echo each other. You know, with these esoteric books, you get something new and something old. Um, because to have emotionless heart, you know, it's just to see properly. You know, if your loved one cheated on you, then maybe you saw improperly, right? I mean, there is such a thing as people giving into temptation, and so it definitely can happen where someone does actually love you, but then they give into temptation and they cheat or something. But a lot of the times it's like, hey, bitch, they never loved you in the first place. You just wanted to see something that was never there. Thus is the foundation of your pain, not a heartbreak that never was, but rather a heart that never was. Um, so to have a motionless heart is not it's not cold. It's not heartless. It's to treat your heart with respect and to give love to those who truly deserve it, rather than those who you desperately want to love. um, but to see properly sometimes can be very painful. um, yeah. I don't know. Maybe none of you would like many of my stories. I enjoyed writing them. I did. And I think I would enjoy making them with others. Whether we make money or not, whether somebody steals any of my writings or not. Um, I mean, I don't know. It's just simple. But we need to listen more, And if we listen to the older folk, right? A lot of the older folk, like, just keep repeating themselves time after time. They just keep repeating themselves. And what do the older folks say? It's like they say, "I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. I wish I would have spent more time with my wife. I wish I would have spent more time with my friends." And if they were wise, they would say, "I wish I would have spent more time developing myself." Right? I mean, there's a value in creation, and I think possibly there's a value in creating with others, whether we make money or not. But yeah, no, I'll be fine. I just yeah, I don't have any respect or hope for fools. Oh, I mean, I'm poor as hell. Look around me, right? But I don't know. I consider myself extremely rich. I do. Um, and yeah, no, oh my God, there's so much I want to do. One of the things I want to do is get healthy again. Right now, I'm not healthy because I do a lot of creating and do a lot of writing, and so tobacco helps like focus your mind. Marijuana brings estrogen into my body, which allows me to get more emotions out there. Alcohol, I never actually write with alcohol. Alcohol has been new to me for the past year. I haven't been able to drink alcohol my whole life because I had sinus issues. But one of the things about alcohol is it like when like I've never written with alcohol, but I've created stories without writing. Sometimes I'll create the stories. And alcohol allows me to be more adventurous. Um, I mean, all this stuff is a bunch of tools that I use in my meditations, in my channeling, and in my story writing. They're all just tools. Like I think I'm 135 pounds right now or something. I'm 130 something. My healthy weight is 170. And I love to be healthy. I do. Um, when I again my healthy weight's about 170. If I get muscle on, I'm 180 plus. Uh, and I mean I would love to get rid of all this stuff so I can try to work on my stories more. Trying to get them out there, instead of writing them and developing them. um, have more energy to try to create or try to work with others and stuff. But I don't know. It's like to be healthy is to just have all this energy, right? But to have energy with no one to share it with is just very painful. To have a emotionless heart is a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it can be very, very painful. Um, yeah, no matter what happens, I'll be good because I like me and I like the journey I'm on. I've just started to crack the Divine Pymander, which is one of the big goals in my life. It's on pause right now, but oh my god, it's at the top of my list of things to do. Um, like one of the things at the top of my list of things to do was to learn Egyptian hieroglyphs. But recently I read these Sumerian stories, and so now like learning how to speak Sumerian is like just bumped off my Egyptian hieroglyphs. So so I want to learn how to speak Sumerian. I want to learn to speak hieroglyphs. Um, you know, right now I'm just a journeyman in story writing. I'm not an expert. I've had a lot of fun writing stories. Um, but I would like to try to improve my story writing. But at the same time, from experience, I know that that could kill my story writing. Right? That's what I did when I was a teenager. I tried to write stories, and I just thought way too much about it, and it killed my imagination. And yeah, I'll be fine no matter what happens. Um, it's I'm just smoking way too much marijuana because I feel like a total woman right now. And I say that without shame, because I think women are way more powerful than men. Um, but I like feeling like a man, so it would be nice to get off all this marijuana. Um, but I don't know. It's just making me have all these female thoughts right now. I'm just nervous. I want to try to get my stories out there. And I've got this voice inside my head that tells me it's not going to happen, you know? And, I guess that'll be sad because, I guess I did hope to to create with other people. Um, like I can move on with my life totally. Um, and still have value from the stories that I've written. Um, I just wrote this or typed out the video game movie, and I'm really proud of it. Whether anybody likes it or not, I am proud of it. And I'm also proud of this the surrounding womb that I'm gonna type out. And then after that, it's my first story that I've ever written is Dawn of Chaos. I'm totally psyched about that one. Um, you know, totally compared to the first two, it's a strange one, but I think it's gonna work. If I could never get it out there, but uh, I feel like a man in trapped in a romance novel written by a woman. I do. I have all these emotions within me, but no. Oh my God, it's just so like all you men don't you don't understand. Like I know what it is to be a man. I totally do. Oh my God, like you wouldn't even believe. Like more than most of you men. But I now know what it is to be a woman because I'm pumped up on estrogen. It's a tool, for my creation and for my channeling and for my meditation. But I do overuse it, and I overuse it because of the pain of loneliness. Um, there's this line in the Torah where Moses is, he, he just writes so dry. He does, and he does it on purpose, and it's so beautiful. If you only understood, but he writes so dry, But there's just so much passion in every single one of his words. And there's this one moment where he's at the well. He just got chased out of Egypt. His grand hope, right? Hope is the virtue of slaves. Um, and his grand hope was the strength of the Jews, right? He wanted the Jews to be the most awesome tribe ever. He did. He fucking loved the Jews. He loved the Jews with his whole heart and his whole mind and his whole soul. And he goes up and he tries to correct these two Jews, and he fucked up because he didn't know Sumerian wisdom. And he was depressed. He was just like, oh my God, I love the Jews, but they're a bunch of idiots, right? And he was depressed, and he said, the line is, it's not good for man to be alone. And in this one line, you can feel Moses' loneliness. It's like this is a man who's faced real loneliness in his life. And you know, that can be a good positive thing, I guess, right? You see Miyamata Musashi, and he'll tell you that loneliness can strengthen you. It can, and I think it strengthened Moses. It's like a rabbi taking a sheep out into the desert in order to torture and kill it. That's what happened to Moses, right? Um, you know, I'm not whining at all. Totally not. I mean, I am because estrogen, right? So I totally feel like a woman right now, but again, that's a good thing because women are so much more powerful than men. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm a total fan of Odysseus. If you look at Odysseus, he comes to this island, and on this island, there's food growing everywhere. It's an island of abundance, and Odysseus had just been on all these adventures. A lot of his mates had died during these adventures, and he comes to this island, and he's just telling the people about all his adventures and all his pains and all of his sufferings. And you have all these, effeminate people, and effeminate doesn't mean feminine. It just means surrounded by comfort. But you have all these effeminate people, and they're miserable, right? And I mean, aren't all the people all over the world effeminate nowadays? And aren't they all miserable? So, you know, um, I'd rather struggle like Odysseus than struggle like the effeminate. You know, when I die, I wanna stare my God in the eye and be like, "Who the fuck are you, bitch?" Like as far as I'm concerned, Judgment Day is reversed, right? Reverse Uno card. Judgment Day is when we're like, "Who the fuck are you?" Seriously, bitch. Yeah, shut up. Um, yeah, so I'll be fine. I don't know. I feel like a woman. I'm like, what if I don't find anybody to make stories with? What if nobody likes my stories, which I don't care. I like my stories. And that's truly all that matters. If you only knew, creation is a value that no one has to appreciate other than you. Um, yeah, and I totally need to get healthy at some point. Try to get my stories out there. But if I don't get my stories out there, I'll just move on with my life. And I'll be fine with that. I truly will be. But it's hard to make your heart motionless, depending on the circumstances.